Hey guys, it's Lynn. Welcome back to my channel at Budget DIYs. I do home decor, thrift flips, dupes, everything on a budget. You can connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, and of course, here on YouTube. Today's video is part of Talented Creators, a playlist hosted by DIY with Aurea and Loli D's Creations. This month's guest hosts are Craft Away with May and Farmhouse Frugally. I'll tell you more about that here in a minute. For now, let's fidget. For this first one, I have this cutting board. I've had my stash for quite a while. It's got like a crack down the center, so I'm going to use it for something else. And I'm going to give it a coat of Waverly Snow White chalk paint. And now I've got these little Let It Snow napkins I got at Dollar General. And I'm going to take my masking tape to the corner and just pull apart that second ply and kind of put it over my board to see where I'm going to want to put it. Then I got a wet paintbrush and went around all of the different pieces of the napkin that I'm going to want to use. And that's just going to give me a softer edge for when I Mod Podge this on there instead of just a hard line. So once I finished pulling apart all my pieces, I got some matte Mod Podge. You can use whatever kind you want. And I did a thin layer and put my napkin over the top of that. And that was a Mod Podge booger. Those are so gross. Ugh. And I'm going to pull the napkin back and do another thin layer of Mod Podge until I've got all of my pieces applied to my cutting board. And I didn't get very many wrinkles, so that was cool, but I wasn't too worried about it either. And here I've got some Limeade Green by Apple Barrel that I watered down and I distressed it. I didn't like it. I changed it. You'll see. Now here I've got these snowflakes that I got in a pack from Dollar Tree and the smaller snowflakes from Michael's a long time ago. And I'm going to paint those snowflakes with Blue Cloud. The pink is Pink Parfait and the blue or the green is Soft Green, all by Apple Barrel. And here is where I am correcting that distressing I did with the green with the Blue Cloud color. And I went around the edge of the entire thing with some of the thinner jute rope from Dollar Tree. And now I'm just going to take this piece of, it's an old garland piece, and I'm just going to tack it down with some hot glue. And now I'm just going to put my snowflakes on there and start hot gluing those down where I want them. Now I've got some Santa pink ribbon and some ribbon that says ho ho ho. I just used them because they're pink and they're super cute. So I folded those, or I looped those, and then put a piece in the center for the tail, tied it together, and here I am just kind of fluffing that out. And here it is. I think this turned out so cute. I was like really wanting to use that pink ribbon for something, so it turned out super neat. Y'all let me know down in the comments, what do you think about this one? Alright, the Talented Creators playlist. It's an open playlist hosted monthly by DIY with Aurea and Loli D's Creations. Get with them if you guys have a channel and want to take part next month. Our guest hosts are Craft Away with May and Farmhouse Frugally. All of the channel links, as well as the link to the playlist, will be down in my description box. You guys check out all of their channels, as well as the other ladies, for some good inspiration. Now, back to the crafts. Alright, for this next one, I've got this metal hanging tag thing and this wooden tag that I got at Dollar Tree a while back. And I'm just using the wooden tag to stabilize the metal tag in the front. And now I'm going to use this calendar page. I'm going to trace out what part of that I need. And I'm going to cut that out. And what do I do after that, guys? I'm sorry. I think I'm just going to Mod Podge it to the front. Indeed, I do. So I'm just going to Mod Podge that down. And I did get wrinkles. I think it was mainly because I'm Mod Podging that down onto metal, maybe. If you guys have any idea, let me know. After I finished attaching that, I used some of the thinner nautical rope from the Dollar Tree and went around the edge just to hide that wooden thing in the back and just make it look neater. And then I took my paint pens and went over all of the text. I used green and red. And then for my ribbon, I have this candy cane striped ribbon that I folded, or I looped. I made like 3 loops, I think. And I've got this smaller red ribbon that's going to go in the middle of that loopy ribbon. Here, I'm going to tie it. And I'm going to fluff it out eventually and all that fun stuff. Now here I've got this Christmas necklace thing that I found at the thrift store. And I'm just going to take off a few of the little things on there. I got a bell and put it in the middle of the bow. Got a snowman and, you know, a bunch of little guys. And I'm going to hot glue those to some of these little round magnets. I'm going to take some hot glue and put my bow in the top corner and put all of my little magnets on the front. Oh, I did make a hanger for the back, and I always use the hot glue and the masking tape. And here it is. Eat, drink, and be merry. And I think this turned out super cute. It's a nice little magnet board for the holidays, and I'm already using this one. You guys, it's so funny. Anyway, let me know down in the comments what you think about this one. All right, the scripture of the day. Jesus replied, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never be hungry again. Whoever believes in me will not be thirsty. John 6:35. We eat bread to sustain our physical selves. Jesus will always sustain our spiritual selves. And y'all don't forget, just because I bring a scripture, you can always go, and I recommend to read the context for yourselves. The whole book's worth reading. That being said, let's get back to it. Alright, here I got this bell trio hanging ornament from Walmart. And I just took it apart, and I'm going to age these bells a little bit. I used some Classic Gold by Anita's Acrylics, and I'm using Burnt Umber by Magic Fly. I think that's from Dollar Tree. Either way, so I'm putting on the gold and alternating between that and the brown just to kind of dirty it up a little, and you'll see the difference in these things, but it's also, you go by eye. Whatever looks good to you is what's going to look good on the piece. Now, I went through and did the cracks of the bells pretty good with that burnt umber, and then topped that off with some cinnamon, which also gives it like an older bell texture. And I really like how they turned out, and I hope I left enough of how I did that in there for you guys to see. But again, go by eye. What if it looks good to you, it's going to be good on the piece. Now here, I'm tying a knot with some twine onto each of the bells, and I used some super glue because those knots tend to slip. Now here, I'm going to tie all 3 of those strands together, varying the height of each one. And I'm going to use some super glue on that and cut off the excess. Now we're going to go to the frame. I got this frame at the thrift store for $1.99. It's really nice. I love it. It's farmhouse looking. So cute. And here I got my Christmas paper, and I traced it out, and I'm going to cut the piece that I need. And I'm literally just going to stick that back into the frame. I'm not doing anything fancy with that. I didn't want anything permanent. So I'm going to scooch that back in there. Put it up the right side. I almost put it upside down. And here I'm just going to take my little bell trio and put it where I want it to hang on the front, and then hot glue it to the back. And I avoided the crack with my hot glue because, again, I didn't want anything permanent on this thing. And once I finished attaching those bells to the back, well, I needed more hot glue apparently, I started working on some greenery. Now, I don't know where I got these picks. I've had them in my stash for like ever, so I can't tell you. But I did those and a couple little pine cones, and I did a double finger bow out of some twine and put that onto the top of my greenery. And I had a little bow off to the side, but I didn't like it. I wanted to go with just rustic, so I stuck with the twine. And here it is. I just love how this one turned out. It's so simple and cute. And I like the paint job on them too. Look good to me. You guys let me know down in the comments if there was something that y'all would have done different on this one. Maybe some different greenery. Anyway, let me know. Alright, for the last one, you see the picture up in the top corner. That's what this vase used to look like, but I lost the footage of me painting it. I did an ombre gold paint job to this vase, and I've got this really nice smelling cinnamon potpourri that I'm going to stick in the bottom of this thing. And I thought about, there's that vase again. Anyways, I thought about putting like ornaments in the bottom, base filler. There's all kinds of options, but I wanted it to smell nice. And here I'm just sticking the different larger colored pieces along the bottom to where you can see them. So I'm just kind of pushing those down in there. And I'm going to start working on the greenery. Now that vine, I just wound up taking that thing off. It didn't look good. And I've got some different picks. The berries came from Walmart. That one right there came from Hobby Lobby last year. And that one on the left I tried to make. I didn't even use that one. And then one with a pine cone on it. That also came from Hobby Lobby. They were on sale last year. And I'm just grabbing a whole bunch of really pretty greenery that I can put in this jar. And now I've got this red velvet plaid ribbon. And I'm going to make some loops. I wanted it to be relatively big, so I've got some big loops here. And I did the same with this glittery gold ribbon. And I did loops in both ribbons. And for the plaid one, I put a couple of little slits in the middle so that it would be easier for me to fluff it out. And when I did that, I put my gold in the wrong position because I wanted that to be in front. Anyway, say lovey. And then I tied it up real tight toward the back in a double knot. And I cut off the excess. And the bow wound up working. It looks pretty good. But I definitely did that upside down. And I guess I'm going to show... Oh, I didn't show y'all me flipping it out. I'm sorry. Well, here it is. And I put a little poinsettia in the top. Some of those berries. A couple of gold glittery picks to match that ribbon. And I think it turned out super pretty. It's a very big piece. So I'm probably going to put it on the kitchen table or something. But it smells nice. It looks good. I like it. You guys are going to have to let me know down in the comments what you think about this one. Now, I did pull that gold ombre paint down a little far. I don't know. Anyway, y'all let me know. I'm going to let you tell me. Alright, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the projects. Subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you liked it. And share the video. It really does help my channel to grow. And to all of my subscribers, a huge hug. Your support makes me smile on the daily. I love you guys. And don't forget to check out the playlist for more Christmas inspiration. Y'all have a blessed one. I'll see you in the next one.